Okay, guys, so we're just waiting for Ruben. Yeah, Ruben, Kenny? You guys wouldn't have some water, would you? Some water? I will start without him, guys, okay? This was a great team effort. We needed it from everybody tonight. We needed Ruben to come in and play great. We needed Lefty to come in and play great. Bryce and Dylan were both outstanding. Real proud of Bryce. Oziah at the end of the game had no fear. So this was collectively, we needed everybody tonight to step up big, and they did. Proud of them. Go right ahead.
Bryce, for you personally, obviously Saturday night go and watch it, I'm sure. How important was it for you to respond and bounce back and kind of see the ball go in a little bit?
Yeah, obviously Saturday wasn't a good feeling at all. I feel like collectively as a group, we didn't finish the game. We had some bad plays that bonehead plays that we did at the end of the game, and it wasn't a good feeling for all of us in the room. So, we came back the next day. We tried to wash it out, and we tried to just get better in the areas that we made mistakes in the game. And I feel like tonight we did a great job. Like Coach said, it was a team effort. Everybody that came off the bench gave us a lift, and it was a great team win, and it's going to be the start to something good.
Rick had said after Saturday your backs are against the wall. Do you feel like you guys
Thank you.
learned something about yourselves, how you responded today, to really a tough loss?
100%. I feel like it shows our resilience and it shows our competitive nature to come back after, losing at home. I feel like we responded really well. And like I said, we're going to keep on building from here. And let's go get another win this Saturday at Creighton.
Excuse me.
Something said among the players on the team after Saturday disappointed knowing you have this huge week in front of you guys?
We just have opportunities. Tonight was a big opportunity for us to come on the road and get a win. We got another opportunity on the road at Creighton. And I feel like the biggest message that we talked about together was just coming together, having each other's back while we're in these tough environments and while we're facing adversity. And I feel like we did that tonight.
Ruben, this was obviously a big game, especially after Saturday. How did you feel about the way that the team really relied on you?
I feel like the team always has all the trust in me. It's not something that just happened today. I feel confident when I go in. I know my teammates got my back, and that's how it is every game.
Most of the season, the Lions have kind of either had you at the 5 or Zuby at the 5. How did that work for the two of you guys playing together on the court at the same time?
Last year, I already had a couple of minutes at the 4 playing with Zuby, so it was definitely not something new. We had some foul problems at the beginning of the game, so I knew I had to help my teammates, and it worked well.
The last play of the first half, the Leotov was throwing the pass to you for the three-pointer. Is that something that's left over from your experience playing together?
I think Lefty did a great job to find the open man, and I just had to let it fly.
Bryce, when you guys are using your pressure defense and it starts to get home and you're starting to commit those turnovers, force those turnovers, do you feel like the energy shifting and the momentum? Do you feel like it kind of forcing your will on the guys when you force those turnovers like that?
100%. We work on it every day in practice, and it's our job to make the other team feel uncomfortable while we're in the press. And when we do see a turnover and we force a turnover, that's definitely an energy lifter for us and the guys.
Bryce, what did you think of Ruben's play tonight and kind of what have you seen from him in practice and throughout the season?
Yeah, like Coach said, we have the trust in everybody on the floor and everybody on this team. And, we've seen it all throughout the summer, all throughout the practices. Ruben, he's a great player, has great confidence in himself. And I knew once we got in some foul trouble earlier when Coach went to the bench and put Ruben in the game that he was going to pick up right where we need him to. And we all have all the confidence in the world for him.
Bryce, the guys who returned from last season, they don't always play a ton of minutes. I think both Ruben and Leotopoulos, they're season high in minutes. Do you think that their experience does something that helps the team
100%. They have been under Coach's wing, and they played for Coach, so they know what he expects from us, and they definitely help with the experience playing under him, and just giving us knowledge and stuff like that, and telling us what Coach expects of us and what the standard is. Definitely, the experience helps us for sure.
Is it a little contagious just to what they gave you guys in the first half?
100%. Seeing Lefty, he's a great player in practice as well. He shows every day. Just how hard he plays, his shot making ability. We know when these guys step in, everybody on this team is good throughout our team, and we know once they got in that they were gonna, make their time worth it.
Great,
Bryce,
thanks.
how,
Thanks, guys. Go on, one more.
Bryce, how, so you guys practiced this morning, like a full practice? Is that right?
We went,
We always do.
yeah.
Was that different? I mean, was a full practice the day of the game a little different? Do you think that had any role in how you played tonight?
I mean, we do it every day. It's different here, and whatever Coach has for us on the schedule, we're going to do it. We always come in and give 100%, and whether it's going 100% on game days, we're going to come in with the right mindset and do it, and it prepared us well for tonight.
Great, let the players leave and then take questions. Coach?
Zach, we always do that. We didn't do
Like,
anything.
someone
Yeah.
said like you guys had
We always do the same thing every day.
okay, so like every game that you go.
Well, obviously, if it's a 12 o'clock game, we go over to the garden and we just shoot. But anytime it's not a 12.
Game, you do it.
Yeah.
Rick, what did you learn about this team, how they responded?
I told them all week, I said, look, I don't care what the outside noise says. I said, you got to be like me, you got to block it out. I said, I've got all the confidence in the world in every single guy in this basketball team. I said, we know why we lost that game the other day. We didn't rebound the ball, and we made some really bad plays, and it ended up in our demise. So when it got to the 12-minute mark, I said, okay, are we going to learn from that when we come back at the 8-minute mark, when we come back at the 4-minute mark? And we did. We learned from it and grew as a basketball team. But I got no complaints about this team. They give me 100% every day. Do I wish we had more wins? I do. But it's really difficult, guys, and I think in this league, only DePaul and UConn have 3 starters back from last year. So you never know what you're going to have every year. Next year, we may have just 2 or 3 guys back, and it's really difficult. There's no continuity at all. So this team has stuck together, and they're growing as a basketball team. But look, it's difficult. It's difficult. It really is. But I am really fortunate because I've got 13 awesome guys that responded in a big way tonight, and it took everybody to win this game.
Rick, speaking of the continuity issue, how important do you think it is to have some guys like Anaya, like Craig, like Leah Thomas, and obviously to help the guys who are new to the program?
Well, we had to switch a lot tonight, so I couldn't go with Dylan Darling, and I wanted to go with shooters tonight. I wanted to play with motion and have shooters in the game. So I went with Lefty. Lefty knows how to play European basketball, which is sort of our system. Ruben knows how to play European basketball, which is our system. So those 2 guys give us big lifts. Ruben is the consummate team player. He doesn't complain about his minutes, but he could play just about for any team in the country. And next year he'll get his starting role for the first time and play a lot. But he stepped in tonight and gave us a big lift.
Was using that collection of players, returning guys, was that like sort of you being resourceful because of the fouls, or was that something that you had been thinking?
I just think that Ian and Joson have a tough time defensively playing together, and just because they don't know certain things from continuity. But Ian has improved immensely from a month ago. If you look at his stats at Carolina and last year and here, it's pretty much the same, except his free throws have gone way up and his 2-point shooting has gone way up. But his turnovers have gotten way down. If I said, okay, Zuby, you're going to play three-man small forward tonight, he couldn't do it. I've asked Ian to play a position he's never played before, and he's done remarkably well. Now, I'll give you an idea. He played, I think you all would say, played really well against Georgetown. So the next game, he was in foul trouble. Every minute he was in foul trouble. He didn't play poorly. He was just in foul trouble like he was early on. What's the first question in the press room? Do you think Ian lost his confidence tonight? If y'all remember. So he didn't lose confidence. Ian's playing terrific at a totally new position. But I had to go with Lefty and Ruben because they know the defenses we play and they know the gaps. In order to stop them, you can't be one-on-one. It's got to be us in gaps.
For the defense you guys played in the second half, probably one of your better half of defense this year. Did something, the message change at halftime, and do you think that's sustainable?
Yeah, we made it. We showed them on film. We made a big thing of it at halftime that you're not at the nail. You're playing one-on-one defense, and we're not a good one-on-one defensive team. So everybody's got to get in the gaps and stop them right away. We did a very good job on a great play with Ajay, terrific player, taking away his right hand. We made Bizjack, who had a very good game, work very hard, and we took away the other players. But our press, without question, and our handling of the ball, 5 turnovers in a game on the road, causing 21 turnovers, gave us our run. We're in great shape, and our players went into this game with more confidence than they had the entire year. And we tried to, as coaches, tried to how much belief we have in them. That was our message the entire week.
And before you going to play with what you saw today, can you see yourself going to more Ruben and Zuby together?
Yeah, I wanted to do it all season. It's just we needed Mitch and Bryce to handle the ball tonight because they do a great job of pressuring the point guard, Robin, and we had to have Mitch and Bryce play the point forward tonight.
But what did you pick with Ruben?
I think they can play together. Now, is he as good as Bryce or Dylan? Maybe not quite, but I have no trepidation at all playing them together.
Does he give you something that, like his toughness and physicality, his ability to stretch the floor that maybe?
I think he gives us the knowledge of being here and knowing every little thing from a continuity standpoint. Yes.
Coach, you mentioned the toughness of this league, but how hard is it for a team like Butler that's playing a freshman point guard, a true freshman point guard, and against a team like yourself, again, that uses so much pressure, and mentally, just how tough is it for someone like Stink who's maybe never seen that strength and physicality to go up against a press like that?
We're not overly physical, to be honest with you, but I know what you mean about the press. It's tough for any freshman, but he's a terrific basketball player. He gives back the pressure very good as well. But it has to be, when you play against us, it has to be everybody handling the basketball, not just the point guard. Our desire with every point guard is to wear him out physically, so in the last 5-7 minutes of the game, he makes mistakes. Just wear him out. Go to the body in boxing. Go to the body. Hit the body, so the head will fall late in the game. So he's a very good freshman, and he's going to have an excellent career here at Butler.
With Bryce, you talked a lot about him changing his personality and getting tougher and meaner out on the court. Obviously, Saturday didn't go how he wanted it to, but since the Georgetown game, have you seen that from him?
Very much so. And remember, he didn't hardly play in the first half because of foul trouble. But you could just, I was really impressed with Oziah and Bryce. Wanting the ball, wanting to take it to the rim. They wanted it badly. And I was very impressed with that.
I've got some full votes.
Start with a few quick questions for Evan, and let him go to the coach. So, Pete.
And Coach Pitino talked about using the press to wear you guys down and just how just difficult it is to face that. When the turnovers start mounting for you guys mentally, how difficult is that, and do you feel like that press threw you guys off your game?
I feel like it did a lot of things. I feel like we got out of control. I feel like we try to focus on just having that next play mentality even when it goes wrong. We can't throw back-to-back turnovers. That just can't happen. And I feel like as a team and as like a guy who's returning on this team, I got to do better of regrouping on the floor, making sure that we get to our spots because we spent a really good amount of time working on press break, and it's unacceptable that we turned the ball over that many times on that press. So.
Evan, you talked about being one of the continuity guys coming back for this season, but it is still your second year. How much of an adjustment has that been from year to year, and then where do you see how you've grown in that, and where you can continue to grow?
I feel like I'm just growing more as like a team player, as a leader. I feel like that's really my only focus. I know that I can shoot the ball and that I play hard, but my number one focus is winning because none of that individual stuff matters unless I put forth enough effort and play hard enough to get our team wins, and that's just not happening right now. So I got to change something or keep playing harder. So.
How much does the offense change now that teams have film on you guys? They're packing the paint to take away Mike, and they're chasing Finley. And just how hard is it to just develop consistent offense when the book is kind of out on you guys now?
It just starts in practice. I mean, we drill a lot of stuff. I mean, we know how teams. I have an idea of how teams are going to scout us, kind of run us off the line, make us put it on the ground, make us make an extra pass, make us make different other plays. But I feel like we just have to continue to work on our continuity and still learning how to play with each other and learning how to just make the right reads. So.
Thanks, Evan. Sorry, and one more. Just so mentally, after two kind of tough losses, where is the team? Just how do you prevent this loss from snowballing and negatively affecting the remainder of the season?
By learning from it. We're going to watch film. We're going to have a probably pretty lengthy film session, and then we're going to get prepared to head to Cincinnati. And Coach told us in the locker room that we're going to be a better basketball team, and I full-heartedly believe that, and I'm going to push myself and my teammates to make sure that we are a better basketball team by the time we go to Xavier. So.
Thanks, Evan.
Thank you.
Coach, just how difficult is a game like this against an experienced team like St. John's when you're playing with a freshman point guard and then things start to snowball and you can only call so many timeouts? Just how difficult is that?
Yeah, no, it's challenging, but as he said, we got to learn, and we get a 7-point lead. I think we went 4 out of 5 possessions first half with turnovers. For the game, we shot 50% with 21 turnovers, and those are the things, and it's human nature. Bad stuff happens, and maybe you let up defensively or whatever. But our margin of error is too small for that. We can't do that, we talk about we don't want to beat ourselves, and St. John's beat us tonight, but we helped them. We helped them a lot, and we've got to get better. We've played a ridiculous schedule here in the Big East to start, and I think the teams now are 11-1 that we've played, and as I told the guys, we're going to be better players. We're going to be a better team next time we take the court, and that's what it's got to be.
Coach, this is back-to-back games where like you mentioned, you have a decent lead at the end of the first half, like I said, 7 points. Then you go to the half, it's tied today. It was close against Villanova a couple days ago as well. And then the second half just feels like everything comes falling apart. Just what can you do going forward to just kind of switch that halftime mentality almost to get better?
I don't know. I mean, we talked at length about it leading into this game, and obviously it didn't work. I change what we do at halftime or something. I don't know. I really don't. But we've put ourselves in a position for 20 minutes. Rewatching the Villanova game this morning, I thought we played as well defensively in the first half as we played all season. And we come out, we miss a couple of open shots, and then it was over. And that to me is just more of a mental thing than it is what they're doing or what we're not doing. I mean, we just got to have a stronger sense of pride and urgency in knowing that we're playing at the highest level of college basketball. There's plays off get you what's happened to us, the last few games, and we got some time here to get ready, and we got to get better. This is I guess a bye week, whatever they call it, and we got a lot of work to do. There's no question.
Coach, just to
going back to the pressure one more time, what was the message to Stinkin' and Fosa before this game, knowing that it was kind of going to be a tough matchup for young point guards, and what's the message afterwards after having them kind of experience that?
Well, you know, obviously we got to continue to work with them and get them better and know that, hey, teams are coming after them. We saw that in Notre Dame game, in the first exhibition game, and I thought Xavier made and Afosa made some basketball plays, but off of it. But they've got to continue. That's got to be every time down the floor. Know when not to go. Is it an experience thing? It is, but. We're 16 games in or whatever, and sorry, that's all the experience we get. We got to get better.
Coach, how difficult is it when teams are taking away Mike Ajayi? Coach Patino said that they're sitting on his right hand. What is the counter to that? Like when he's not able to get into the paint, what can you guys do to develop consistent offense?
Well, I think that we got to move him more. We've got to help himself, and I think those are things we got to look at just in terms of putting him in better positions, be it off of screens or making him a screener or whatever it is, just to try to free up a little bit of help and give him some angles. Spacing is something we've struggled with. I thought we were a little bit better tonight, but we got to continue to learn how to make plays for your teammates. And they're a gap-heavy team, and we didn't move the nail the way we needed to.
Coach, you had to have Mike, play through foul trouble tonight. He fouled out a couple of games ago. How much does your team change when he's off the floor, and how much have you seen the team develop?
Yeah, well, we are a different team because Mike does so much. I mean, from defense, rebounding, his ability to score. But those things are going to happen, and I think just from the standpoint of the guys got to continue to come in and make the right reads, make the right decisions, and gang rebound when he's not in there.
I'm not saying it happened tonight. I think St. John's did a really nice job on Mike, but in particular, as you're trying to get him going, how do you keep his aggression high when he's had the foul?
Well, I never worry about that with him. Seriously, he's going to be aggressive. That's just who Michael Ajayi is. There's no if and or buts about that. So I don't worry about that with him. Thanks.
Coach, you guys went to zone defense and a little bit in the second half, and you talked about finding other ways to get Mike the ball. But how much can you change? Obviously, you probably don't want to change your entire system in a week, but how much meaningful change can you make in the time off?
Well, I think this. I wouldn't say change. A, we got to get better at what we're doing. And B, there's some minor things that we're going to have to sort of move around a little bit, and but we got to continue to get better at just the simple things: passing, catching, dribbling, finishing at the rim, and we'll be a better team next Wednesday.